As ever, I'm immensely impressed and excited and happy and grateful to 357XP Husky responds with a piece about religious tolerance in Russia in response to the piece I did about Isabel Vaughan Spruce's Silent Prayer. And I'm going to read out what XP Husky says. Chief Rabbi praises religious tolerance in Russia. Beryl Laser said that the peaceful coexistence of all faiths in the country can be an example for the world. I agree. Russian Chief Rabbi Beryl Laser said on Wednesday that Israelis and Palestinians could follow the example of Russia, where all religions live in peace. He stressed that people of different faiths live as friends in the country. Speaking at a meeting of representatives of the country's religious associations alongside Russian President Vladimir Putin, that's presumably the Vladimir Putin who didn't die, Laser noted that there is peace between Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, all religions and all peoples in the country. He insisted that such a model is an example for the whole world. Such a model would be if it were true. The rabbi said that national unity is a unique feature of Russia. We feel peace and mutual respect between people of different nations, different cultures, different confessions of all times. He added, well, I can think of a country where there is a coexistence of the great religions, and that would be Albania. Russia definitely is not that. And let's have a look at two particular laws. We know, for example, that many Jewish people came to Russia. Many Jewish people fled Russia. So in the past, Russia has definitely not been a beacon of religious tolerance. The Russian people fleeing, the Jewish people fleeing Russia because of the pogroms. The Orthodox fleeing Russia because of the rise of the Soviet Union and Stalin's re-imposition of orthodoxy, which meant that many of the bishops, many of the priests were actually members of the KGB, like, for example, Patriarch Kirill, the man with the cufflinks the size of huge stones. Huge stones. So there are two laws which are pertinent. Law number one is Yarovaya's law, sometimes called Yarovaya's package, which brings to mind Koteng's package, doesn't it? It was intended to counter the threat of terrorism from cults, and what it does is to severely restrict evangelizing. It severely prevents Protestant proselytizing. Yarovaya's law, Yarovaya's package in 2014. And in 1997, there was a law decreeing the freedom of religions, and all religions are equal, even if, like Napoleon, Snowball and Squealer, some religions are more equal, like for example, the Russian Orthodox Moscow Patriarch is more equal than the Old Believers. Some religions are more equal than others. However, there were 2,000 organizations that were defined as non-religious and did not want or could not register by the approved time, and are therefore outlawed effectively, or at least ostracized, or at least regarded as cults. One of those would be the Jehovah's Witnesses. At what point can you consider Jehovah's Witnesses to be a threat? But I suppose also Mormons, an attempt to stop the Mormons knocking on your door. I can remember as a child the Mormons knocking on my door. They would knock on the door and say, we'd like to talk about God, and my mother would say, Tim, it's for you. And it was simply charming. And I remember Mormons being struggling with the anti-proselytizing laws in Greece. So the idea that this chief rabbi, who appears on a podium with President Putin, is actually advocating a system that is genuinely honest, genuinely free, and genuinely positive is, I mean, this rabbi is living in some sort of wonder world, some sort of Disneyland. It's madness. You will not find a freedom of religion in Russia, unless you're Russian Orthodox.